Tonight, a shooting on a college campus.
And more cases of the coronavirus in the U.S. News 8 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Luke Hudson.
And I'm Ariel Yacobazi. Welcome back to Murrow News 8.
2 women were found dead and a 2-year-old was wounded after a shooting on campus today at Texas A&M University Commerce. The shooting took place in a residence hall. University Police Chief Brian Vaughn declined to say whether the women were students or identify if the victims were related. CNN also reports that Vaughn did not reveal a motive for the shooting or whether police are still looking for a subject, but there are no longer any threats. Classes have been canceled for the rest of the day.
Tonight, Iowan Democrats will cast their votes in support of a challenger to sitting President Donald Trump. The process happens over several rounds. In the first round, if a candidate gets at least 15% of the vote, then they are considered viable and keep their delegates in the next round. Those who support a non-viable candidate have a chance to switch to another one. After Iowa, the next major campaign checkpoint happens Friday in New Hampshire.
Coming out of CNN, House impeachment managers and President Trump's defense team have delivered their closing arguments and the trial has adjourned. Senators now have about 2 days to explain their vote publicly to the Senate floor. What happens now? According to CNN, senators will vote on the articles of impeachment this Wednesday.
The Los Angeles Times reports that health officials in Northern California have announced that 3 more people have been infected with coronavirus, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the nation to 11. In San Benito County, 2 of the new patients are a married couple. The husband recently traveled to Wuhan, China, and passed it on to his wife, but they have not left their house since his return. The other confirmed case took place in Santa Clara County.
Speaking of the coronavirus, according to the Moscow Pullman Daily News, WSU canceled a study abroad program due to a recent outbreak of the coronavirus in the Hubei province in China. According to the director of WSU's International Programs and Global Learning Department, Kelly Newland, WSU adopted a wait-and-see stance regarding the 2 programs. The cancellation of the program is due to the wave of federal travel restrictions and quarantines as the U.S. attempts to contain the spread of the disease. A Spokane Valley police chief of 21 years is retiring. According to a Spokane Valley Police Department release, Chief Mark Werner will retire in June 2020 after 21 years with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. In a statement included with the press release, Werner says he is privileged and honored to have had the opportunity to serve as the chief of police for the Spokane Valley these past 4 years.
The Spokane City Council will vote tonight on a bill that would ban the use of high-pitched noisemakers to drive away homeless people from businesses. According to the Spokesman Review, Councilwoman Kate Burke proposed the ban in December, saying that the devices are harsh to those who they target and are unwelcoming to everyone. The bill was tabled and later revised over concerns about penalties to businesses, like a $1,000 fine and up to 90 days in jail.
The Spring 2020 Career Expo will take place tomorrow from 10 to 4 p.m. in Beasley Coliseum. It will feature over 100 employers looking for students to hire. The expo will provide information for graduating seniors about jobs, but could also help underclassmen get that summer internship their advisor is always talking about. Check it out tomorrow in Beasley.
Upset about how cold it is outside? Don't worry, Punxsutawney Phil has your back. Yesterday, the groundhog did not see his shadow, telling sprawling crowds that came to see him spring will come early this year.
Even though Punxsutawney Phil says we're going to have an early spring, this week's weather might say differently. Sophia Canton has weather next.
Murrow News 8 will be right back.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. so he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We saw the sun come out today. Is that something we can expect more of, Sophia?
We may see some glimpses of the sun, Luke, but unfortunately it's still going to be pretty cold. So today the high is going to be about 33 degrees and the low will be 21, which is pretty cold for this time of the year, with the average usually about 39 degrees. We're also going to have some westward winds coming in about 9 miles per hour, and it's going to die down a bit more tonight. Tomorrow we're going to have a high of 34 degrees and a low of 27, and winds are going to pick up again, coming in around 8 miles per hour, this time from the southwest. So around the state, the temps are actually varying a little bit. So on the west side, Olympia and Seattle are sitting around highs of about 40 degrees with lows in the low 30s. So not too cold, but definitely not what the people on the other side of the mountains are used to. Now in central Washington, it's actually surprisingly warm. It's even warmer than Seattle and Olympia are. Both Yakima and the Tri-Cities are sitting at a high of about 46 degrees and are going to have lows in the low 20s. So Pullman obviously is going to have a high of 33 degrees, and Spokane is going to have a high of 35 degrees with a low of 17 later tonight, and they're actually going to be expecting some of that snow. So over the next 5 days, we should expect some snow, with the National Weather Service issuing a hazardous weather warning for our region. Tomorrow we will see colder temps, but it should only be cloudy until tomorrow night, where we should see some snowfall into Wednesday. Wednesday we'll have mixed rain and snow, getting a little warmer, having temperatures in the high 30s. Thursday we're going to see the end of the snow, having just rain and some higher temps reaching the low 40s. And Friday is going to be a little bit more mild, just having some clouds throughout the day, but the snow and rain will return on Saturday with some more mixed rain and snow. So we got to see some sun over the weekend, but the snow might be making a comeback. I went to the Winter Blues event last week and was able to find out some helpful tips on how to combat seasonal affective disorder. Student Affairs and the Graduate and Professional Student Association hosted the Winter Blues Buster 2-day event. Seasonal affective disorder affects around 10 million Americans, according to Psychology Today, and it affects younger people and is connected to a lack of light. Hence, the Winter Blues Buster event. Day 1 took place at the Student Recreation Center and included events having to do with physical activity. Exercise is connected to better moods and can have a profound impact on depression, anxiety, and ADHD, according to the SRC's description of the event. The SRC offered physical activities from 5 to 8 p.m. all over the rec center. There was an open climb session, dodgeball, and floating lawn games in the pool. There was even a section in the SRC lounge that allowed students to paint and eat healthy food and drink mocktails.
We're here to promote mental health and just being healthy and active, and how alcohol and substances can kind of impact that. So we're just trying to promote alcohol-free drinks.
The feedback from participants was fairly positive, and one even said it was a great distraction from the busyness that is college.
Yeah, I took 5 or 6 art classes in high school, and so art's a really fun thing to do. And I'm in a dorm right now, and so I can paint, but it's not as easy to with all the supplies that you would need, so it was nice to come here and have everything provided.
Day 2 of the Winter Blues Buster event took place at the Elson S. Cultural Center because they wanted to focus one night on physical activity and how to channel your mood through that, and another on your mental state and how to balance your mood doing different things that help your mind. The events at the Elson S. Floyd Cultural Center included cooking, telling stories to connect, and a mindfulness for restful sleep lecture. After the workshops finished, they had tables set up for dinner and dessert.
We decided to put together this Winter Blues Buster event at a point in the winter where everybody might be feeling kind of at their lowest. So we kind of focused at the end of January, and we wanted to focus on things that would help naturally benefit the students in boosting their moods.
Coordinator Jason Abrams said they're looking forward to continuing the Winter Blues Buster event in the future.
With Murrow News 8, I'm Sophia Canton.
The Mariners are extending a starting pitcher.
This and more when Murrow News 8 returns.
The Kansas City Chiefs are this season's Super Bowl champions. The Chiefs completed the second largest comeback in Super Bowl history, scoring 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs secured the win, making it their third playoff win after trailing by 10 or more points this season, becoming the only team to ever do so. Patrick Mahomes won Super Bowl MVP honors after throwing for 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, and even rushing for 1 touchdown. The Seattle Mariners inked Marco Gonzalez to a 4-year contract extension. Mariners general manager Jerry Dipoto said, quote, "Since joining the Mariners, Marco has been a model of consistency, quietly ranking among the most productive starting pitchers in the AL." Washington State Swim lost their final regular season dual meet to Boise State, 192-60. Sophomore Lauren Burkle captured her 5th victory of the season. The Cougars will head to Federal Way, Washington later this month to compete in the Pac-12 championship.
A big business in Pullman has changed its hours.
Find out how the changes could affect you when Murrow News 8 returns.
Well, it seems even bargains have their limits. The Walmart in Pullman will now be open every day from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Earlier today, we confirmed that after 7 years, the Pullman Walmart will no longer be open for 24 hours, limiting all-day, all-night shopping on the Palouse. Thank you for watching tonight.
Don't forget, you can also follow us on Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night.